Hello everyone, welcome. Welcome to a brand new campaign, a brand new system, a brand new overlay, a pretty much brand new everything. We have a lot to get into, a whole new system, which will be very interesting to run because we've gone from playing several of the Kids On series, which uses rules very loosely, to a game that has more rules than rules, because even the rules have rules about how you use them. But it's not Vampire, you can read the book, which is always an advantage. I will never stop throwing shade at that book until they rewrite it so I can understand it. And I actually run a campaign in it, and even I can't understand that book properly. I just make it up as I go along. So, Cyberpunk, Night City, all the hype in the world. I can't wait for this. It's supposed to be grim and dark, and we know how I run campaigns now and what my players alike, so it'll probably turn on into some sort of like Night City version of Friends by the end of the 3rd episode.
Monty Python does Night City. That's
pretty
what
much.
we're here for.
I try to run serious grimdark campaigns, and it lasts for about half the first episode, and then by the end of it, it's just some sort of comedy with a bit of drama put in.
Why not? Why not?
You know, I mean, look, if everyone's having fun, then I'm doing something right. I will start by introducing myself. My name is Hedgehawk. I go online with the handle at Hedgehawk UK. Twitter, Instagram. I don't post anymore. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why I plug it. I don't post. If you do want to find me, though, I am on our Discord, which is where I basically live nowadays. So if you want, come join us, hang out. I do try and post funny memes at least once a week. You can decide if they're funny or not. I tend to find them on the internet and go, that made me laugh, but my humour is autistic, so your mileage may vary.
Just Star Trek memes. And
actually, ironically, no, not Star Trek memes for me. I look at Star Trek memes and go, what is this? Mine are really convoluted D&D memes about making certain roles.
Fine, that's what we're here for.
I am going to let everyone introduce themselves. Say hello. I'm going to go across an overlay order, so I'm going to start off with Bex and hope that the chat command is what I think it is, because I didn't set them up.
Fab. Yeah, so hi, I'm Bex. I am vaguely on the internet, but these days mostly hanging out on Blue Sky. My handle there is the same as it is on Twitch, so should be nice and easy to find. Generally speaking, I post a lot of tabletop memes, fun art that I find, plug a lot of like my partner's comics, and I am a sci-fi and fantasy academic, so I occasionally post about some fun conferences I'm doing, one of which is on Thursday. It's going to be great. I'm talking about fanfiction in the Omegaverse, so only serious business in my field of study. But I am very excited to be here and to play around in Night City and see what happens.
So I didn't know what the Omegaverse was until about 2 weeks ago when I googled it. And immediately...
Googling it is always a choice.
Immediately I burned my browser history and I've not gone back on that laptop.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it? I haven't looked it up. I'll go and look it up now.
I mean, if you want to see a horrified face look on your face,
oh,
that's the look of a soul leaving somebody's body.
I am going to look it up. Omegaverse. Omegaverse. What is it?
Have fun.
Oh wow!
Don't say it out loud.
Oh, I haven't said any of those words out loud for a while.
No,
I'm a married person. They're demonetizing
words.
I'm going to click on images. Oh no!
Don't do that.
And hey, to bring a full circle, started in Star Trek, so there we are.
Just going to go to my crying chair. Oh my god, what was that?
Oh god. Anyway.
I want to be at this beach now. I want to go to Bex doing a chat about it. I would love that. A group of people. And I'd like some of them not to have been, like them to be partners of the others.
Oh, no, they never know what it is, and then I
Oh,
explain.
amazing.
I was like, that's really interesting.
Is there a presentation? Is there like slides? Amazing.
I'll send it in the Discord player and people can enjoy that.
Please don't.
Anyway, before I start having a coughing fit, we also
Bex
have
can professionally explain in extreme detail, says Dusty Steel.
Oh no. Oh, take it away, Chris. please.
Yeah, me. Hello, I'm Chris. You can find me everywhere online as Papa Glitch, usually with an underscore, because someone else got there, and being the person I am, I didn't think maybe I'll change my username. I was like, I'm committed, and so sometimes it's underscore Papa Glitch underscore, sometimes it's Papa Glitch underscore, sometimes it's Crispianity, because I changed it to Crispianity on Instagram and then forgot to change it back. So that's and in one account it's Glitchadale Miniatures, where I paint miniatures and figures and stuff. So that's my art channel on Instagram. But mostly I am a comedian. Sometimes tonight I had a new level of child splaining, where my youngest tried to tell me that they knew more, that I didn't understand jokes, which is brilliant, because I've been a professional stand-up for 15 years, been teaching comedy for 5 years. So that was peak child splaining, is what I call it. They're 16, so it's not like
children
they're
will
not 5 or
handle
anything. Yeah, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with. I want that independence. I'm all right with them going, you don't know anything. But when it's my literal job, it seems like they might think I'm bad at it. It's a bit mean. Imagine if you're a builder's child and you go to your parents' work and you're like, you know what, I do Lego at home, and I know for a fact that wall is not going to support that seat. It's not quite the same. But yeah, I'm trying to hang around on Blue Sky and Mastodon a lot more, and I'm going to be doing a lot more online. I'm about to start a new nerd show on YouTube with a good friend of mine called Chaos Engine, which is going to be weekly, and it's going to be very fun. Which just check out my socials, and I'll be promoting it heavily when it comes out. And usually I tweet jokes that people either find funny or offensive. They're normally quite nerdy and about parenting. Or by the way, when a white guy says that sounds bad. I understand that. I shouldn't say that. I seem like that guy at the pub who's like, I got one for you, and you're like, no, you don't. I don't want to have
Absolutely,
that.
no, you don't.
You could stop there now. Don't Google a megaverse. But it's not quite like that. I usually post jokes or try to retweet other creators, and I'm now leaning heavily into the nerd space. So it's mostly like Warhammer figures and role play, and I'm going to be starting a live play of Wild Sea in a couple of months. So
beautiful.
Find me on any of the socials that you won't remember from that rant I just did. So we'll say it again at the end.
It's in the chat as well.
It's in the chat.
We put it in the chat. The commands worked. I guess
if you Google Papa Glitch, you'll find me or a weird rapper. So,
I mean,
we're both over 40.
I mean, I started as Hedgehawk and then realised someone else had taken it, so I became Hedgehawk UK, but only on certain places.
Part of the franchise now.
Exactly.
I just really liked the X-Men and was like having that.
It's fine. Have you been enjoying 97?
Yes, I just finished it recently. Well, I'm up to date with it, so excited for the finale. It's
beautiful.
Very good so far.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here and nod and go, yes.
I
totally know what you're talking about. I'm part of the nerds.
I'm part of the nerds.
I never thought I'd be there trying to propose in nerd culture.
I thought you were going to get like your certificate. I swear to God,
I got it.
Promise.
I promise. To have me tested. I'm a nerd.
It's only a third, but you know.
Third nerd. On my mum's side.
Yep. Right. I think we've got everything out the way. I'm looking at my notes. I've got nothing else written down to start us off with. Right.
Looking at my notes, they're empty. We can go.
Yeah, I've scribbled half of them out already.
What's good about this, everyone, is we don't know the rules either. Learn along with us, people. Strap in.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
The beauty of playing 10-episode games on a rotation is you run out of systems you know very quickly, and so you have to start basically picking up new systems at the drop of a hat.
It's a good way to do it.
Just as I finished learning this, I've just picked up Fabula Ultima, because that's the next series we're going to do, so I'm now reading that in my spare time. And it's like, trying not to get the rules mixed up. But hey, look, it's just roll dice and say numbers.
How hard can it be?
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. I'm looking at my stats. It's going to be a lot of the latter, unfortunately. Very bad personal grooming stat. For those of you that don't know, that is a niche joke. You'll get that by the end of episode 10. You'll be like, ha ha ha, personal grooming. You're right. I can't wait.
My personal favourite weird skill is contortionist.
I like that. That's a weird.
Why is that there?
Because sometimes you just want to contort yourself into a brick.
I guess so.
Just you want to show off at a party.
Yeah, I don't know. Cyberpunk is an amazing setting with a bunch of skills that are something. In depth.
Are something.
You just had someone subscribe with Prime then.
Did I? Say I haven't got mine. Well, whoever it was, thank you. When my activity stream loads, because I'm running about 4 things at the same time, the activity
you can smell his PC load. From here. That's
the Mac is starting to. I can feel the fan at the bottom of the Mac kicking in, so it's like, okay, I'm just going to close that window. Right. Save on the processing power. Right. I think I'll get started. When I hit the music change. So, 2045. Feels a long time since someone decided to, I don't know, detonate a nuclear device in the middle of a city to prove a point. Not naming names or blaming anyone. But hey, you do you. Now, there is one stick that I do have to have, is that most people who now know of Cyberpunk know of it because of the wonderful 2077 game. But I do have to point out that in the red TTRPG version, that nuke wasn't as small as they made it out in the cutscene. It actually killed 500,000 people in the blink of an eye, and leveled the entirety of central Night City. So no, you can't be escorted out on a gurney to get put into some mysterious ambulance, but I'm not here to poke holes in people's narrative storytelling, because that means they can start poking holes in mine. So I'm not doing that. It's been difficult rebuilding. A lot has changed. The Fourth Corporate War shifted the balance of power from corporations to governments for the first time in a long time. Government was back in fashion. However, as we etch closer and closer to some level of stability, that needle is starting to once again tick over towards corporations. And in 2045, we've hit a criticality point where the balance between corporations and governments is once again around 50-50. No one wants to test the space because no one wants to start another war. So people are getting away with things they probably shouldn't be getting away with. As for Night City, it has recovered to a degree. Most of the outskirts are now shanty towns, which have housed most, if not the majority of people in Night City. There are put this way, for those of you who played 2077, who know the map a little bit, Watson's currently considered upper-class corporate housing. That is how low the housing bar is right now. Having a tiny one-bedroom apartment in a mega tower is considered a corporate luxury at the moment. Most people are still living in cargo containers. That is the normal way of living at the moment. So to go beyond that is expensive. So the one thing this game loves to simulate is life expenses. Each month in game, you have to pay lifestyle expenses. Failure to do so, you have 1 week to make the payment, or you have to make a death save every single day beyond that you don't pay. And for those who don't know, in Cyberpunk Red, a death save is 1 dice, you fail, you die. There's no, oh no, I'll put that to my death counter. No. You fail once, you're dead. So
a little bit too real. Little too real.
Yeah.
It's too real. It's just Cyberpunk 2024. That's all this is.
Now, depending on your class, if you like, certain people have certain perks. Like, for example, execs don't have to pay rent. They still have to pay for food, but they don't have to pay for rent. Because the corp will pay, as long as you're working for them, the corp will pay your rent for you. That's just one of the perks of selling yourselves to the corporate system. And I'm sure there's nothing bad that can come from that at all.
Definitely not. It's absolutely fine.
The problem is that even on that kind of salary, things are still tight. And people could always do with more eddies to spend. Which is what leads people to become edge runners. The street term for mercenaries, guns for hire, or even operatives. I think operatives for hire is probably the better way of explaining it, rather than guns for hire, because, well, you could hire anyone. You could hire a media who could manipulate people through news reports. You could get yourself a rocker boy if you wanted to sway people with music. Or you could just hire guns. I mean, that tends to be a very effective way of getting what you want. Just pay a bunch of people with guns and they'll make the problem go away. Most of the city is still nothing short of a war zone. There are several designated combat zones where even the NCPD will not go. There is even one combat zone where even Trauma Team won't dare to go. And they pack some serious firepower. Basically, think ambulances that decided to go with the military. They will rock up with an entire armed squad just to make sure their patient survives. Don't ask about the bill. It's expensive. Unfortunately, healthcare is not cheap. But hey,
again,
it's the future.
A little real.
Yeah, a little too real.
A little too real. We're okay in the UK, but only just.
Yeah, I mean,
only just.
The only good thing is that it's expensive, but you do get seen immediately. There's no 6-week waiting list, and we'll send you an appointment letter. If you've got the money, you can walk in and get healed today. If you haven't got the money, then I hope you've got someone who, I hope you know someone who's willing to sponsor you.
Like now, we just go door to door with a sheet.
Yeah,
doing a sponsored run, but it's not that. You're getting a new kidney. That's what it is.
Yeah, we're going to do a sponsored run through a combat zone. What's the worst that could happen? So, an advert was posted a week ago talking about someone looking for individual operatives to come together for a quote-unquote simple job. Professionals only. The payout is 1,000 eddies each. For Cloud, I believe that would pay a month's rent pretty much immediately. So one job for 1 month's rent. So I want to say I think your living expenses are 1,100 every 30 days. That you've got to find.
I think so. I don't know, actually.
Off the top of my head, I think if we're saying you start off in the basic housing with the basic food, which is called kibble,
Kibble. I'll eat kibble.
It's called kibble. Sometimes the only difference between your food and dog food is the cheeseburger flavouring.
They get cheeseburger flavouring.
Exactly.
You guys are getting cheeseburger flavor?
Yeah. My cat eats better than I do.
Exactly. Who gave Fido the cheeseburger?
It gets food and I get like a wrap. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So no, this is a relatively, supposedly simple protection job. The location to meet is a dingy bar just on the outskirts of Night City proper. It's nestled between what has essentially become Container City behind it and where the actual highway starts. Used to be kind of like a nomad bar, but now that the Container City has basically gone all the way behind it, it's now become a very seedy place. The sort of place you go to get some deals done on the down low that you don't necessarily want the corporate hierarchs to know is going on. You've been told, if you accept this job, to go to the bar and ask for ether. And more instructions will be delivered. So, that being said, Cloud, you. You are the first to arrive. This bar is relatively quiet. It's either... It feels like it on a vibe, you feel that this place should be more populated than it is now, but someone's ordered people to skedaddle. So there's only a few stubborn people here who are just quietly minding their own drinks. What does Cloud do / look like as they enter this relatively dingy bar?
He is a friendly-looking guy, about 5'10", dressed in quite retro clothing. Blue jeans turned up at the bottom, wearing Converse-y type leisure wear trainers. Mirror shades on, a denim jacket and a white t-shirt, very similar to what I'm wearing right now. They're just my clothes. But not without his mirror shades. Smiling. He's very excited about being there. He's only been in the city for about a year, so he's it's nice. It's nice to be indoors, if he's honest. He looks around the bar, takes it in, notices that there's not a few people, frowns, but continues to look happy. He doesn't want to let on. He's not very good at it, but he's going to give it his best. And then he's going to walk up to the bar and hope that, and he's going to ask for ether, hoping it's a person and not a drink that he doesn't know about. So he's going to kind of, hi, I'm Cloud. I'm either going to introduce, he's either going to introduce himself awkwardly.
Awkward introduction. The bartender is this kind of gruff, sort of 6'3", balding to middle-aged man who's had almost like metallic reconstructive surgery on the one side of his face. It's not hard to deduce that this person is probably a survivor from the Fourth Corporate War, as they've got what immediately stand out as what you would assume are like military grade cybernetics have been disabled after the war, so that they don't. They still work as functional items, but have lost all their lethality. It's quite a common practice. They don't respond to you introducing yourself. They don't care for that. When you mention Aether, they simply point to a booth in the far corner, which from here you can't see inside because one, there's only one light and it's on a very low setting, and the booth itself kind of obstructs the view from the bar so that you can sit in there and not be seen unless you want to be seen.
I'm here to meet someone. So what I'm hoping for is they would be looking for me as much as I would be looking for them, really. So I'm not trying not to be seen, as it were. I'm definitely coming in and not keeping to myself or anything. I was just looking to see if I have a cyber eye, and I was trying to see if I had anything use that I could see through the dark, but I don't. He's got a microscope for an eye, which is in this case not I don't want to know what else is on this bar. I don't need to look too deep. Is it clean? He doesn't need to know.
You don't want to know.
Extra information he doesn't need to know. I'll say, all right, can I buy a drink, please?
Yeah, sure. What do you want?
What have you got in that's not alcoholic? Need to keep a clear head. He's trying to be cool.
We'll have a first check. Give me a streetwise check. So that'll be, I think it's streetwise plus cool.
Yeah.
Plus 1d10.
It's it's just cool. It's nothing else. Oh well, that's a 6 total. That is a 6 total. Oh, he's not good at it. Oh, he's rubbish.
There's a look on this man's face of being like, you wouldn't walk into a car dealership and ask if they had any bikes. Like you've walked into a bar and you're asking for non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
I mean, water's expensive nowadays. That's actually considered a luxury, so he can't even give you tap water. There's a small grunt, and he goes under the table and brings out a small cola can.
Perfect.
And offers you that. Doesn't ask for any money for it. Explains that the person Aether has already paid for drinks for for the people that have come to meet them.
Nice.
And is just kind of like, well, I can't make much money off a bottle of off a can of cola, can I? It's not exactly a high markup item.
He could have given me water. I would have been. If that's a high quality item, I'll be like, and the water.
To be honest, I don't think this place would actually have pure water. Pure water.
No.
Deeply cursed.
I mean, I think it's like 350 eddies a month just for like 1 gallon to be delivered. It's all right. It's insane. They give you the cola can, they give a curt grunt nod, and just kind of go back to cleaning the bar, which, no matter how many times he cleans, doesn't seem to get any cleaner.
Again, Cloud resists the urge to zoom in on that top bit. He's trying to quell that natural curiosity he has. Oh God, no. Pops the can, rubs the top on his jacket like that, and then sips it and walks over to the booth.
Awesome. Once you get to the edge of the booth, the neon ring light above the booth provides enough light for you to see in. It's a very clever, like, perceptive trick, because before you got there, you could see the neon light, but it was never quite strong enough to see inside. But now that you're there, you can see perfectly inside. Sitting alone is a lone female, very slender, 2 cyber arms, green spiky hair. The only way I can think to describe it is like that anime spike. In that there's definitely got to be some kind of like cyber augmentation to that hair. It should not be that spiky and that flowing at the same time. It should either be one or the other. But this just seems to be spiky locks. But this real bright, vivid green colour, which, thinking about it, should have been pretty obvious when you were walking to it. But again, completely in the dark. They take a moment to look you up and down.
I'm just standing there.
I thought I asked for professionals, not riffraff.
I'm a professional.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Just sit down. I'll take what I can get.
I'm gonna open my tech hand, my tool hand, as I click it, and it clicks in closed again as I sit down, just to make a point that I'm a professional.
I'm a professional, I promise.
Yeah.
There's this moment where she watches you there with your hand, and retorts kind of, neat, although I've seen better. And you see her lift her left arm, her wrist folds back, and inside is a shotgun barrel.
Wow. Nice. Did you have that done at a clinic?
I don't really talk about where I get my upgrades done. The less people know,
because I made
the
mine
better.
myself.
And give me a persuasion roll.
I did.
I think it's cool plus whatever you got in persuasion.
It's 14 is total. So it's 6. I rolled an 8. I've got persuasion 6. It's 14 total. It's a better roll this time.
She nods, acknowledging that you've made it yourself. Maybe you'll do.
And I sit down.
At that point, Catherine, you pull up to this bar. I'm assuming, based on what we know of Catherine, you took the car here?
Yes, absolutely. So Kat had her driver bring her here. She was not going to walk. She doesn't have the time. She doesn't have the energy. Why would she bother? So she will step out of her car and just sort of gesture to her driver to wait. She isn't sure if this is going to turn up anything, so she's not going to send away an escape route real quickly, just in case. She walks into the bar with the sort of confidence that could be earned, but more than likely has been given by being born into good circumstances. She has her she doesn't want to be seen in this sort of space, so until the door shuts behind her, she has a black leather hood up over her face, and as soon as the door shuts, she'll flick it back. approaches the bar again with this sort of easy swagger. Doesn't really bother looking around her. Just beeline straight towards the bar and just looks, makes eye contact with that bartender and is like, okay, firstly, I want a shot. Secondly, I'm here to meet someone. They have a name, I would imagine. I don't care for other people's names unless they've made themselves interesting to me. But they were looking for professionals. So here I am. You asked and now you've received.
Give me a persuasion check of your own. I suspect this may be higher.
They can't all be the same.
A 21.
21.
Oh, that's better.
There's a grunt from the bartender, makes the shot. It's a vodka shot. Slides it across, and just points to the booth. Doesn't even bother saying a word or conversing with you. Mostly because he's worked out that it's not worth conversing with you because you're not going to really pay attention to him. So what is the point in saying anything?
That's
just
probably
give
fair.
her what she wants and she'll go away.
She absolutely just like necks the shot before even going over to the booth, puts the glass back down and like slides it back across to him, and then turns tail and walks over to the booth. As in, a long like sort of leather duster coat with a hood, but underneath that you can see like as in like a structured red shirt and tailored black trousers. Very clearly looks like she has money.
Aether like looks directly at you, and is sizing you up for a second. Well, I didn't know we invited Prissy to the party.
Oh, you didn't want a professional? As far as I'm aware, that's what you were advertising for.
I didn't say you weren't a professional. It's a long way from the safety of your towers.
I know. But if you want to get somewhere, and I assume you do because you don't put out ads like that for no reason, you're going to need a name and you're going to need someone with the pull behind it to justify it. So, here I am.
Okay. Take a seat, I guess.
And she'll kind of swing into the seat and like stretch and like take up as much space as she can.
Yeah, you've got Aether here, who does not take much space at all. At the opposite end of this booth, and then on like the left and right, you've now got cats basically sprawling out, and on the other side, you've got Cloud just smiling, glad to be here.
He's going to smile at you, and he's going to like loudly slurp his Coca-Cola like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone.
Cat just kind of looks at you and like tilts her head like, interesting, but says nothing about it.
I'm guessing that you two are the only two that are going to turn up. Fine.
I came on my own.
I will keep this brief, since for some of us here, time is money.
It is, yeah.
There is a object I need. It is the start of a very lucrative job. However, I don't just want anybody for it. So this is a test, if you will. There is a corporate warehouse over the other side of the river, just on the outskirts of one of the combat zones, that we are looking to acquire something from. In particular, it's a data shard.
Ooh.
On it are plans for something that I need to acquire for a client.
Plans like as in blueprints or fabrication building plans?
I don't know myself.
Interesting.
I am going to level with you a little bit. I have been kept a lot in the dark about this job. As much as you probably are in the dark about this. All I know is that this shard is currently being kept in the main office of this warehouse, because that is where this item will eventually be delivered.
Eventually?
Yes, but I don't know what it is or how to identify it, so I need that shard.
What corporation are you looking to steal from?
I don't even know that. They call themselves Management and Handling Shipping, but that's clearly a burner. Shell corp.
Yeah, that's a shell. That's nothing.
So, you know, I don't know who's actually behind it, but I'm sure once I get that shard, I'll figure it out.
I'm sure.
There's one kicker to all of this. I haven't just hired you two. I hired another team to also go after this. Call it hedging my bets. That if one of you failed, the other one might succeed. But I want to make it clear, I'll only pay the team that brings the shard back to me.
Right. So we're in competition with someone as well as trying to get the shard.
It seems so.
Look, I need a good crew for what's to come after this. And I don't, like I said, I need professionals.
Yeah. All right. Personally, this is just Cloud. Personally, it might have been better to pool our resources, but sure, if it's going to be a competition, we can win that.
And what do you anticipate is going to come after this?
Well, once I know... Well, yes, first, money. But after that, once I know what this is, I can figure out how we're going to steal it. And then we are going to go and steal it.
We are?
Well, yes, if you come back with the shard.
And what happens to the other team? What happens to the losing team if they don't come back with the shard? Other than not getting paid?
They don't get paid. That's... I'm not some evil villainess. I'm not gonna leave them at the back of the bar with a bullet between their, in their brains.
You wouldn't be the first to have threatened me with something like that in this city. I'm just checking. I've got a cat to think of.
This city is dangerous enough without me going round blowing people's heads off. If they can't pull off something as easy as this city will eat them alive anyway.
That is true.
I'm in. I'm Cloud, by the way. It says, looking at you directly.
Cat just kind of like looks him up and down and just goes, pleasure, I'm sure. You can call me Cat.
I have one. Okay. I'll remember it.
Great. I'm happy for you.
Cat and Cat. That's the spin-off we need, Cat and Cat.
Yeah.
He needs association to remember people. I have empathy 3. There's 0. He's not even sure about people anymore.
What are people? What is people?
Who's to say?
You wait till he meets Cat.
Aether gives you more precise coordinates to this warehouse. It's the best way to describe it is the outskirts of old Japantown, which at this point is still very much in the rebuilding phase. It didn't take a direct hit from the blast, but the days and weeks leading up to that explosion, the city was almost an open warfare anyway between Militech and Arasaka. So there was a lot of just general damage as it just turned into urban warfare. And a lot of that just hasn't been fixed. Turns out when half the city gets leveled, there's more pressing things to do than fix buildings that are missing windows. But hey, corps do what they have to do. They're slowly regenerating block by block. And this is, where they've started. There's no explicit gang activity there, so you don't think you're going to get jumped in that regard. If you start deviating away from the warehouse, however, you might start straying into Tiger Claw territory, which might prove problematic. They're not particularly fond of armed edge runners going around doing what they want in their part of the city. And if you go to the other side, you've just got rubble and more rubble and nuclear contaminated area, which you probably don't want to go walking in, because there is rules for radiation damage. Of course, there's rules for radiation damage.
If there's rules for poverty, there's definitely going to be rules for radiation damage. It'd be weird if there was rules for starvation but not radiation damage.
Yeah.
With the exact coordinates and the idea of where we're going, is there a chance that Kat would have an idea of what corp she's stealing from? Because as much fun as stealing from other corporations as, she would love to not accidentally steal from her own job. That seems silly.
Let's have a look at the 420 skills you can use that might give you an answer.
Many of them.
I'll tell you what, it's up to you. Give me either business or bureaucracy.
Great, though I have the same modifier in those, so that's fine. Beautiful. I know how to do maths. That's 20 on that.
There you go.
20 business or 20 bureaucracy? Which of the two do you prefer?
Let's go business.
So, you definitely know that your corp isn't there.
Cool.
I mean, your corp wouldn't have any business being that side or being anywhere near there anyway. You're one of the lucky ones. You have your little corporate tower, and you don't really need to go beyond that, really. There's a few warehouses, but not that area of the city. It's very difficult to remember who could be set up there. That part of the city is notorious for almost what people are dubbing timeshare corporations, where other corporations take over their name for a bit, do what they want to do, and then sell it to the next shady corporation to do their business. You know, through your business contacts, that corporation, our little management and logistics handling corp, has gone through the hands of nearly every major corporate player at some point in the past 3 years. The only corp it's not been attached to a major corp is Arasaka, although that is mostly because the do not operate in Night City, otherwise we'll launch an attack on Tokyo, is still very much in effect. Yes, they got kicked out rather badly and told, if you come back, we will launch our own nukes. But yeah, every other major corp, Danger Gal, Biotechnica, Militech, Kiroshi, they've all had their hands on that warehouse at some point in the recent future. And there's a smattering of other mid-sized corps. Tends to be used on average about 2 months before they pass it on to the next person. Generally, it's a case of, hey, we'll rent it, we'll dump some things in there, wait for people to forget that we've put the things in there, and then move them back out.
Move on.
So it would be, while you have a lot of background, you don't know at the moment who's holding it.
Perfect. Alrighty. Yeah, in which case, with the sort of knowledge that she's definitely not going to accidentally steal from her own job and get herself fired, Kat will sort of nod and be like, all right, I'll accept the terms.
Good. One last thing. The other team did get here an hour before you.
Of course they did.
And if another group of people show up after you, then I suppose I'll just send them over there too.
Great.
Hey look, I win either way.
How long do you anticipate leaving that ad up for?
I probably won't take it down.
Of course you won't. Great.
I'll find, if you bring me back the shard, I'll find another job I can send them to.
Great. I love this for you.
I tend to find that offering a flat fee generally works to my advantage during negotiations.
I mean, not wrong.
I mean, you Kat, definitely get the sense that this woman's business stats is also equally quite high. She may be a fixer now, but she reeks of former exec. There is a calculated thinking behind what she's doing here.
Yeah, Kat's kind of looking at her like, I know what you are.
I've seen you before.
I see it. Yeah.
So I wouldn't dilly-dally if I was you.
Cloud's already confused by the social interactions that have been happening. There seems to have been a lot of intense stares, and he's just finishing his Coke.
Oblivious.
Tings the thing a couple of times and puts it in his bag. Metal. Am I right?
Important.
Just to both of you.
There's this awkward moment where they're having some intense staring contest, and it's always a case of who breaks first, Aether or Kat, to look at what Cloud's doing, and like,
just
and
I think there honestly comes a point where like the staring contest starts to devolve into both of them looking at each other, going like, "What is happening? What is he doing?"
Yeah.
Just sort of becomes puzzlement.
Do we just stay here and do nothing? Will he stop?
Do we ignore it? Does he want us to do something?
When you turn to look at Cloud and he's winding up something he's made out of the Coke can, and he puts it on the table. It's like a metal pair of those little clapping mouths, and it just jumps.
Yeah.
And he's like, "We should probably go."
That's actually impressive.
You can have it. That's yours. You paid for it.
Well, you did say you wanted professionals.
Fine. Well, off you go.
All right. Yep. I'm going to need a cab. And tries to just get up and...
Kat kind of like stands up and thinks about it, and I was like, I have a car, I suppose.
Oh, nice. And then just like heads out. He's completely...
The moment like Cloud walks off, Aether just like quietly motions over, and it's just like, good luck. I don't miss those days.
I fear I may need it. Well, this has been wonderful. I know who you are. And leaves again.
I know who you are.
I know who you are.
Lord Lucan? No.
Yeah, you you go outside. What car does Kat have that gets driven for her?
I feel like it's like a very like sleek looking like black sedan. Like all the windows are tinted, and like it would look a little fancy if it wasn't for the fact that like just slightly on one side at the back there's just a couple of like little bullet dings. And as she walks past them, she kind of like waves them off, and it's like, they'll get fixed. Don't worry about that. We just haven't done it yet.
PR is dangerous work nowadays.
Well, with the corporations the way they are, sometimes you say some things and people get upset about it, and that's not my problem.
Does Cloud recognise them as bullet dings?
I think they're pretty clearly, they haven't really disguised that well.
I can fix that.
Oh, sure. Great, if that's something you're capable of doing. Maybe not right now. We can do it later.
No, there's other things. We've got other things to... downtime. This is something that'll be fun. We'll do it. We'll make a night of it.
Well, I fear that I may end up with some more in it before the end of the night, so...
Well, it's good I brought this then. And he's got he pulls the assault rifle from off his back. Complete, again, probably not something he should be doing in public. But absolutely.
I wouldn't wait that around. I would maybe take that in the car. Take that in the car.
It's under. He keeps it under a duffel bag, so you can kind of see the stock, but it's sort of hidden because that's as close to it as you can get.
Sure. I respect the ingenuity. I respect the hustle of it.
He tries to get in the car, with the stock.
Kat just lets him and just leaves him to it until he figures it out and then climbs
Less funny and more just awkward. He's just not really... He's more thinking that we should be at the job already. He needs the money for rent, and you know where we're going, and this car could take us there.
Yes, Kat will kind of pass the coordinates through to her driver and be like, as quick as you like. We have some endeavours to carry on with tonight, it seems.
Oh, there's someone else here. Who's this?
This is my driver.
Hello, driver. It's a weird name.
I imagine she has one.
Oh.
There's just a ping of sadness from the driver's seat of just, she doesn't even know my name yet.
Cat's just slightly... like, well, I had a driver who was quite lovely, but well, as you can see, there was an incident, and now I have a new driver, and we'll get to names and introductions, I'm sure.
Well, that's handy. I've found it hard to replace people, and you seem to have been able to do that. I could replace things, but I've never been able to replace people. That's what I'm kind of working towards. So hopefully you can teach me that.
I mean, I mostly just pay them, and they come to get money.
Yeah.
So unless you've got that kicking about, I'm sure.
Well, I wouldn't be here if I did. If I'm honest, I would rather be
interesting
at home with my cat.
Alone with the cats.
That's my favourite. The cat. It's my favourite. I'll introduce you to Terry at some point.
Okay. I'm sure I'll be honoured.
Fantastic. So, unnamed driver number 1.
That's who she is to
Minion 1.
Corporate assigned Minion 1 drives you over to this warehouse.
Can I look at the information we're given? Can I look at that on the drive over?
Yeah, you can go through the information. Just a bit like Aether was demonstrating, there's not a lot to go on here. They know there's a data shard. They know it's in the, for a lack of a better term, foreman's office. But in all honesty, there's not a lot of information.
Could I use my agent to bring up a floor plan or at least some kind of satellite photography of this place to give it a little bit? So I want to find out as much as I can in order to see if there is some way we can make it easier for ourselves to get in or out and not die.
So it's a warehouse, which means there is more than one way inside. There are no official floor plans because why would you have one for a top secret burner warehouse? However, outside imagery suggests that you can either go in through the front, through the large doors at the front for like terminal loading. There are a couple of side doors that go into this warehouse. You know that it has to be a 2-story based on the window pattern. I think because Cloud's quite on it.
Detail oriented.
Yeah, there's two. The layout of the windows suggests that this is a 2-floored warehouse. So there's going to be the warehouse floor and then something above it. Whether it covers the whole breadth of the second floor, it might not. It might only be parts of the second floor. But the window suggests that there is something on a higher floor. And just through pure sheer brain thoughts, if you were going to have an office in a warehouse, it would be on the second floor. It wouldn't be with the goods. Yeah. But for mainly like going in and entering, there's generally one gate at the front. There's quite a lot of tall fences around it. They don't look immediately climbable. They are about 10-foot high fences. You would probably need, if you wanted to try and climb a fence, as opposed to going in through the gate, you'd probably have to find something to either give you a boost or hoist you over. And that would be no guarantee of getting back that way.
Yeah.
Can we tell what type of fence it is from the pictures?
It's your bog standard futuristic metal post fence, in that, to be honest, it is half climbable, in that it's got just metal rungs going up. The big problem is that when you get to the top, they've built those lovely overhangs that go the wrong way. So you have to kind of go up, then pull yourself backwards going up, and then go over.
Cloud's less thinking about climbing over and more cutting a hole. What?
You could do it. It would take some time. These are thick bars. Whether it would be quiet or not.
I don't. Yeah, he also doesn't carry. He's got a small tech, like something to fix tech and make tech. He's not sitting there with a hacksaw and a prison escape.
Just there with a
very funny if he was.
Just cutting through.
3 episodes into this, he's gonna have that. He's gonna have a Mary Poppins bag.
First rung down, right onto the next one. But yeah, so there's not a lot.
Cloud's going to turn to Bex then and go, so it looks like, and I'm going to show you the agent and be like, so it looks like there's a bunch of fences. There's one main way in. I don't have anything in my bag that can cut through these, so we'd have to climb them. But I'd guess that we'd be shot. Which I don't know about you, but I'm not. I mean, it seems like you're more of a fan of it than I am, but I still assume you want to avoid.
I assume we'll just use the main gate.
No,
I don't think there's any cause to be climbing anything. It's very clearly not dressed to be climbing anything.
Yeah, I have like one type of clothing, and you will be sorry,
and like a lovely pressed suit has admittedly rolled the sleeves of her duster coat up. But that's the only concession she'll make.
That's the only thing I'll do. I'll roll it up, but that's it.
That's it.
That's a fair point.
Maybe if it gets like really intense later, the duster will come off. But beyond that, this is the vibe.
I tend to keep this on at all times because it's less. I get stabbed less. Is just the whole.
Sure.
Vibe with that. But then I think we live in very different areas of the city, Kat. And
you know what? I would imagine so. Yes.
Yeah. Like I found my place. I'm guessing you, as in like there was no one there, and then I started sleeping there.
Oh.
Is that how you found your place?
You're squatting there? No, they gave me a place.
Not anymore. No, not. Yeah, at first, but it's nice now. I've got a plant.
Do you know what? Sometimes some decoration is all that's required to make a house a home.
And that's what this is. There's 2 of us living there, so I mean, it's nice.
Cat?
Yeah, Terry. Yeah.
Great. Just to clarify, making sure I.
Have you got a roommate?
No.
No. It's great, but sometimes he's just inconsiderate.
I'm sure it's terrible.
What would you say? How are we going to get in here? I would assume that it's going to be tough to. I understand that you're in this big car. Someone else is driving, and obviously you're not too worried about if that person gets replaced. Cloud's voice goes down a little bit when he says that. But have you got a plan for when we get there, or is it more of a?
Well.
See what happens.
I imagine if it's corporation owned, there's going to be someone around. I figure I'm just going to ask and see if they'll let me in.
Oh, okay.
It usually works. I've never had an issue before.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. It never works for me, so...
well, quite often you need the credentials to back it up, otherwise they think you're just anyone trying to get in and steal their things, which of course we are, but they don't have to know that.
Yeah.
We'll talk our way inside.
Yes.
That is not. Cloud is like, that is not going to work. To him, that's magic. Okay, you mad person.
Kat is so convinced. It's like, yeah, that's how everyone gets anywhere, obviously.
I've never heard of such. This is wild. I just want to see this happen. This is wild.
Right. I will say that we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll arrive at the warehouse, and we will see just how successful talking our way through the gates is going to be. Spoiler alert, I don't fancy the chances. I have the DVs in front of me.
I think it'll be fine. I'm going to do it.
Confidence is key.
Exactly. Fake it till you make it.
So funny if I
if it works
on this in either direction. Either direction of a crit on this would be so funny, and I hope it happens.
I would love it.
Yeah,
I want to see Kat talk. First of all, Cloud wants to see it because to him this is a card trick. But I want to see it because if this works, it will be the crowning achievement. You'll have won Cloud. Like you'll have a pet
for life.
If this works, I've peaked in session 1, and I'll just be like,
peaked in session 1.
That's been it. See you later.
Me. I'm done. Goodbye.
That's that story of my life. That is peaking in session 1. So every relationship session, first time after that, just downhill
Done.
From there. Everything. It's all you put it into the first one, and then after that, we just. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna stick around, folks.
It's gonna be something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be gone for about 10 minutes, so about 22 our time. Get up, stretch your legs, fill your drinks up, and join us as we try and break into a warehouse and not get killed during session 1.
Would be good.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to jump straight back into it. So unnamed driver number 1 is coming in around the corner away from the warehouse. You hear it before you see it. Is the sound of gunshots coming from the warehouse.
It's probably fine.
What are you going to instruct the driver to do? Are they just going to keep driving at a normal rate? Or do you want them to step on it as they come round the corner?
I feel like we probably want to gun it. I feel like if we just crawl up to this thing, we're making ourselves a much easier target.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to look like we're a pizza delivery service.
No, we probably just want to gun it and be done with it.
In which case...
Also, the funny part is, I did prep a name for the driver, but now the bet is too good, so she has to just be unnamed driver.
Yeah. The thing is, the acronym for them changes every time we describe them. Corporate lackey number 1, unnamed driver number 1,
Minion 1, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Peon Alpha.
Exactly. Look, we just don't care about them. They are cogs in a corporate machine that we can replace at will.
Exactly. That's how it works.
Oh, it's just too close to home, isn't it? Just in Tory Britain, it's too close to home. It hit me right in the socialism.
Yeah.
In which case,
but yeah, we will gun it and see what goes on.
Okay, can unnamed driver number 1 then give me a drive land vehicle check?
Great.
So it's reflexes plus drive land vehicle plus 1d10.
So she gets a 6 to her drive land vehicle, and then her reflex is 8. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. It's rolling better than I ever have, which is fine, I guess. It's a 21.
A 21? That's heroic driving level.
Beautiful. See, this is what happens when you pay people a living wage.
A living wage. Living. That's driving towards heavy gunfire.
Yeah, you're alive, aren't you? For now.
Temporarily.
You tell them to floor it, and it's almost like watching a racing driver, pull the gear shift back, push down on the pedal, and the car speeds up. They expertly weave it around the corner. You very quickly get a view of what's going on. I'm not going to make you roll any kind of perception-y style checks because it's pretty obvious. I mean, they've got their name literally pasted on the side of the car. You see a Militech troop truck. More like SUV more than truck. And what looks like a beat-down junker car. Behind this junker car are the silhouettes of people ducking for cover. This truck, this SUV has deployed 2 drones, and that is what is currently opening fire at the junker car, which is taking a lot of damage. At the moment, you can't see any other people, just the 2 drones. Your driver brings the car to a pretty swift halt, kind of turns the body in a way that it kind of becomes a form of natural cover. If you wanted to get out of the vehicle. Fun fact about the way that this vehicle's now been parked, they are now sitting on the vulnerable side, along with Cloud behind them, and and Cat is on the safe side, so Cat can get out and be in cover. Cloud either has to slide across the seat to get out through Cat's side, or get out into fire.
That's corporal privilege, baby.
You do pay them. I mean that.
Yeah, it's true. I do that.
But the drones aren't actively, like, they're not clocking you or registering your existence. Their sole thing at the moment is those two behind the car. You can't see them fully. The only one you can see has kind of like blondish hair, which at this point has got little speckles of red in it. They occasionally pop out over the bonnet/hood, depending on which language system we're using, to take occasional shots at these drones, not hitting them. But likewise, these drones aren't doing a particularly good job of hitting them either. Mostly because the car is taking all of the damage. I was going to say, this Cloud wants to determine the amount of damage to this car.
I wanted to... No. I think any is... Cloud is probably going to be like, that's more than none. But he wanted to scooch up so that he was kind of on the right side of the car so he could see out of the window.
You're on the you're on the right side by default. If anything, it's Cat that's got to look over to see if she's safe. Yeah, these drones aren't bothering you at all.
Cloud's gonna look at Cat and go, "This talking thing is very different to what I imagined. But what do you suggest now?"
You know, you sort of struggle to talk to drones, don't you? Do we think that's the other team over there that's getting swarmed by those drones? Because if so, that seems like maybe it's their problem.
Yeah, maybe we just let them handle that.
I mean, we could.
They don't look like they were as good at talking as you are.
Well, they're both alive, and I think that's all they can ask for at this point, so...
So, how about... And he's going to pull the rifle off and load it. We just use that as a distraction, yeah? And then we...
Nothing stopping us.
He kicks open the door.
Oh, okay. Sure. Cat will very quietly open the door on her side and, like, slither out so that the car hides her.
So, you get out of this vehicle. What do you want your driver to do? They are currently acting as a barricade. They can move if you want them to.
I think I'll tell her to, I'll be like, you just duck down, sort of thing. Like, I don't have time to get another driver to get me out of here, so, like, just lay on the thing and I'll tell you when to move.
Yeah, they assume the fetal position going forward, so that, you know, that their head's in between the steering wheel and their legs, so it minimizes their profile.
Wonderful. I'll tell you when we're leaving.
Yeah, these drones still have not clocked you. And you're not quite sure why they haven't clocked you.
Interesting.
Can I take can Cloud think about why they might not? Like, see if there's any reason why maybe there are other drones en route, for example.
Give me an electronic/security tech.
Yeah, he does. I'm helping. 24.
Hey, there it is. That's what we're good at.
24 is the incredible DV range.
That's
the reason why they're not targeting you, you haven't triggered their security perimeter. These are security drones. If you were a betting person, you would bet that the gate is the security perimeter, and these two people must have walked past the gate to trigger the two drones from the truck, and then ran back behind the car, because while the drones are triggered from the fence, they can act outside the fence.
Okay.
So they do have basic programming to pursue.
Does Cloud know how much damage these drones could take? As in, does he know how tough they are to...
These are standard Militech drones. I will tell you, because you did literally incredible. They both have 20 HP each.
no.
But they only have 5 armor.
Okay. That's not so bad.
They carry the equivalent of heavy pistols.
Okay.
So we're talking 3d6.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, I'll relay this to Kat. That my knowledge. If we go, I think if we go past that gate, we're going to become the focus of those drones.
Okay.
Have you got a way around that? Any kind of corpo? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I have corporate credentials, but unless it's my corporation that owns this, they're not going to let their competitors slink around. I suppose we just have to get rid of them.
We can either shoot them out of the sky, or if I can somehow get to the controller, I could probably deprogram them. Deactivate was the word I was going for, but...
There you go. Do we get the sense that like the truck is the controller, or is that more remote? Is it
I think both of you would know for differing reasons. Cat for know thy corporate enemy. Cloud more from that's an interesting technical thing. Militech SUVs have drones buried into them, so they act as drone controllers. There is a very good chance that truck actually has people in it, just you can't see through the blackened windows. Standard Militech SOP is to have the drones fight first, and if the drones fail, then the cavalry come out.
Then the cavalry?
Yeah.
So there's worse things in the truck.
You're looking... If we're going to be conservative here, you're probably looking at one operator, which is probably the equivalent of a netrunner, and you're looking at one solo coming out of that truck.
Okay.
So there's going to be one person very much kitted for combat, and the other one not so much kitted for combat.
Okay. Look, I have an idea. It's crazy, but could we drive the car through the gate, Cat? And it seems like it's got bulletproof sidings from what I've seen.
Well, I mean, I don't see why we couldn't, but surely all that's going to do is bring our drones onto us.
Yeah, but then we can get in the building.
Yeah.
We don't have to... Well, or... if you can get me to the truck, I might be able to do something with it. Could we drive into the SUV? What about that?
I feel like this SUV might win that battle, but I am absolutely willing to give it a go.
I'm perhaps there, like, as long as I don't have to be in the car when we try that.
Well, I could sit in the back, and as long as we brake hard enough that it doesn't crush all the way back to me, that's fine.
It's the Farquad meme of, you're risking your lives, but that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yes, it's very much that.
Some of you may die. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
And that's a risk I'm willing to take. So, yes. I think our best bet is going to be to use our car in some shape or form, because I don't want to risk.
Okay, so let me just, as the voice of reason, say this out loud so that we definitely confirm this is the course of action.
What?
We are going to have Cat's car pretty much Viking ram this SUV in the side.
I was more thinking we were just like, what if we just pull up alongside it and you can hop out?
That makes more sense.
Hello, nice to see you. Both of us with our black tinted windows, like, don't look at me.
Hey, you could do that talking thing, like knock on the window and say...
I will say, on Cloud's great role, when the drones are active...
Not using it.
when the drones are active, there is a second security perimeter around the car, well, around the SUV, because obviously the Netrunner is in the drones. So you don't want someone sneaking up to the car. So there's an extra security perimeter around the SUV. So potentially rocking up next to it casually would potentially trigger the drones as well.
All right. Maybe we take out the drones and then we pull up alongside the truck so we can get the jump on them.
Or yes, or is there a way I could get under? Could Cloud get under it? Could we sneak up? Is there a way to sneak in underneath and then maybe booby trap it or disable?
You would have to be either extremely fast or very, very good at not getting seen by those security systems on the SUV. They are going to cover a 360-degree angle.
Yeah.
Electronics
I was just looking for what
you could, if you could literally
stealth.
You could dive at the SUV, and as long as you could make that dive in a single turn, you could probably latch onto the SUV and try to use electronics to try and fuck with it. But that would be risky.
I'm going to turn to Kat and say, Kat, what would you suggest to this? I could run over and dive onto it, or I could dive under it and try to disable it somehow, but that's a hit and miss thing, and if I'm gone, it'll be you and that drone and then whatever's in that truck.
Yeah, I don't love my odds about that.
I don't love it either.
I feel like the drones have to go.
I think so.
They're gonna get us either way, so I feel like the drones have to go before we
as you say, the drones have to go.
They do.
One of the bullets from the drone hits this other junker car, and there is a rather loud bang and then a hiss coming from the car.
No, I don't know much about cars. I have a driver for that. That doesn't seem wonderful.
It's not good. I can tell you now.
Great.
The next noise we're going to hear is going to be much louder.
Great. Shall we speed this up and just go?
Yes.
Let's just get rid of those drones. I've had it.
How close to that car are the drones?
So to give you some battlefield context, you to the drones is about 50 meters.
Okay.
So you're a good way back.
Yeah.
They're about 10 meters away from the car that's being shot at.
So they're not going to get. They wouldn't be. If the car exploded, they wouldn't be in the.
They're probably on the periphery of the explosion. Assuming that sound was an explosive sound, and yeah, they're probably on the periphery of the explosion.
Okay.
There's about 20 meters between the car and the SUV. All in all. Yeah.
I think that with Kat, I think we're just going to have to go. I'm just going to shoot the drone. What do you say?
Go for it. I believe in you. It's probably the best shot we have.
I'm going to put it in my shoulder, my assault rifle, at the drone while crouching behind the car.
To give you some ideas, assault rifle, the DV that you would have to beat hits at 50 meters. It's 13. 50 meters is the 26 to 50 meters is the ideal range for the assault rifle.
Perfect.
It gets harder as you get closer, and as you get further away. The pistol, however, has a DV of 25.
We don't need to get closer. We'll just do it from here.
Cat would have to
I'm
get
not
much
I'm
closer.
not shooting at anything.
Your
I'm
Cat is just
right
standing
here.
there.
Moral report.
I'm staying here and seeing how this plays out first, because this seems like not my.
This is not
my role.
Okay. In which case, then I need Cloud to roll initiative.
How do we roll initiative?
So initiative is reflexes plus 1d10.
That's not that bad.
No, I just need to know what the drones.
17.
Okay, so you act before the drones.
I've got my reflexes are 8.
Cloud.
It's quite nippy.
It's a 17.
That's what you get when your housemate's a cat.
The drone's got a 16.
We share the litter tray.
And the other two...
And the food at this point.
And the food,
yeah. He gets actual food. I like Terry more than I like me. So.
Oh, they get...
He's tasted real meat.
A 7. Okay. So... so Cloud acts first. So everyone gets one move action and one other action per turn. Movement can be split between move, action, move, as much or as little as you want. Yeah, that's basically it. You can move a number of meters or yards equal to your move times 2.
I believe there is an action where I can use. I don't need to go anywhere.
No,
I think there's a take aim.
There is a take aim action. Take aim is. I did just see it a second ago. The take aim action. There is a rule for it. Aim shots. Here we go. At a maximum of 1 ROF, which assault rifle is 1 ROF, you can aim a single range or melee attack by taking your entire action and a -8 to your check to aim for any of these special areas. If you hit, you deal your attack damage as normal. You also get the additional effects based on where you aimed for. Well, this only has really the head as a drone.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to do that anyway.
No, all you could do is multiply the damage it gets to the target's armor by 2. So you can
we'll just
standard attack?
Standard shoot. Just one.
So in which case you need to do your reflexes plus your relevant weapon skill with the shoulder arms plus 1d10.
D10 plus 14. Here it comes.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah. 23.
23. Awesome. Yeah, you slug this drone with your bullet. Roll your damage.
5d5, d6.
Yeah, 5d6.
No, I said d5 though.
Yeah, you could take this out in one shot, in theory.
In theory. Oh, it's a good theory because I've got 2 5s, 2 6s, and a 3. So that's 12, 22, 25 points of damage.
You exactly take it down in one shot. It had 5 armor, so it reduces the damage to 20, but 20 is its max HP. You just one shot, one kill, straight through the side of this drone. Goes off in a boom.
Are there other drones? Is it just
there's
that one?
2?
There are 2. Yeah.
So you took out one, but now its friend has definitely noticed you.
It will,
and it is going to. It's its turn now. If you want to stay behind the car.
Yeah. I'm just going to drop down, actually, because I've still got my move action. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to reload the rifle. And I don't know why it's a bolt action in 20.
It's like bolt action assault rifle. That's an interesting one.
I'm going to look at Kat and go, I said I was a professional. And then duck, behind the car.
Awesome.
What's one more bullet hole in a car? It's fine.
Let me just very quickly, because I remember reading that you can. add cover before you take damage. Is that it? The golden rule of cover. Here we go. You're considered to be in cover if you're fully behind something that could stop a bullet. A car could stop a bullet.
Boom.
If they have line of sight on you, you aren't in cover, but they don't have line of sight on you. They only know where you are. There is no partial cover. It can either stop a bullet or it can't.
Perfect.
So, cover has hit points. Okay, so they have to get through... They have to get through bulletproof glass before they can get to... Oh, God, okay. This drone
Look, we're winning this.
This drone is going to try and shoot at Cloud. This is going to be interesting because it's a... Well, no, actually. This drone is going to use its movement to move 25 meters towards you. So it's now within the 25 meters range.
No, I have a gun for that.
So yeah, it's going to move closer because it respectfully needs to get closer. Otherwise,
drone.
It's just not going to have. So it's gonna. I mean, that's nearly a critical success. It hits technically. It does beat. But now it has to roll 3d6. You watch as this drone attempts to shoot Cloud. The bullet instead hits the bulletproof glass of this car. It takes damage, but it doesn't shatter. There is just a bullet-sized impact on this glass.
Incredible.
Perfect.
That's its turn. It can't do anything else. The other... It's the other team's go now. This blonde-haired man with like speckles in his hair is going to lean over and perform an action on their friend.
Hello.
Which fails.
Inappropriate.
Not the moment, I would say.
So that's their
more pressing things.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't quite tell what they're doing at this point because they're covering the car. So now it's going to be the other person's turn. They need to make a roll.
I had to get extra dice to do the damage for the gun. Before,
well, they fail that.
Hedgehog had said we only needed 2d6. I knew he was lying.
Yeah,
Lies.
And I grabbed my bowl of dice.
I said you needed two types of dice, the D6 and the D10s. Okay, so they're gone. Okay, so Cloud, it's your turn. This drone is not looking particularly happy. It's now 25 meters away from you.
It's sad.
Yeah, I think I will also pull my gun out.
Do you want to? Okay, if you want to roll initiative, then see if you can reflexes plus 1d10. I will let you join this round.
16.
Okay, what's your reflexes?
7.
Okay, so you're faster than the drone, so it will go Cloud, you, then drone, because you've both got 16.
Love to be faster than our drone.
These things are nifty.
Yeah.
Okay then, Cloud. This drone is 25 meters away from you. The DV now for you is 15 rather than 13.
Cool. Do you auto fail? Can you auto if you roll a 1? Do you have?
If you roll a 1, it's a critical failure. In which instance you roll another 1d10 and you subtract that from your roll.
Right. Okay. Cool. Right. Mainly because I was going to say I only need to get a 1 to hit it.
No.
So. Oh, I rolled a 1. Ridiculous. That's what I get for. That's what I get.
Crush yourself.
So then I have to roll this and subtract it, yeah?
Yeah. So what would you have got with just the 1?
I would have got 15.
15. So roll another 1d10 and take that away from the 15.
Yeah, it's 5, so I got a 10.
Yeah, no, you can't hit this drone. Something about getting up and then aiming, just you don't quite take that time to aim the shot, and it goes wide.
I was getting cocky is what I was doing. I was
showing off. Cocky. Do you want to still use this car for cover?
Yeah, I drop back down.
Awesome. Anything else from you? I think that's it. You've technically decided not to move. You've taken your action.
I'm keeping track of my bullets as well.
Okay then. In theory, every time you can use the arrows on the Roll20 sheet, and
it didn't work.
Oh, okay.
I did that.
Huh.
I don't know if it's.
It's taking. Yeah, how weird. Stupid sheet. You just keep taking them from the rifle bit there. Okay then, Karen, that's your turn. You're also behind this car.
Yes, absolutely. I will pop up with my pistol and try and take a shot at this drone.
Okay. Same as before.
Yep.
I think for you it is. I want to say for you it's reflexes plus handguns plus 1d10.
Yep. How are we feeling about a 19?
You need 20. A pistol at 13 to 25 meters needs 20 to be to hit.
I guess not.
Yeah, you just shoot a little wide. I mean, I could retroactively say you have luck.
What does luck do?
Luck allows you to, for each luck point you spend, add 1 to your roll.
Cool. I'll spend a luck.
Okay. Now, I will let it slide. Traditionally, you're supposed to declare luck before you roll. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because why would you waste luck on something if you don't know if you're going to fail or not?
Yeah.
Harder rolls, I guess.
Yeah, I know they're trying to make it so you don't use it as a crutch to like boost your rolls.
Yeah,
because
but that's not luck, then, is it?
No,
it's preparation.
I'll be honest. Some characters can have insane luck stats, which means they can literally carry whole rolls on their own.
I love that for them.
And because they reset every session, imagine if you were like an 8 luck character. Any roll.
I'm a 6 luck character. Yeah. I'm quite lucky.
Okay, roll your... Is it 3d6 for your pistol?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool, so I'm feeling pretty good about 3 6s. That feels nice. So, a nice cool 18.
18, 5 gets absorbed, so
13.
13, so it's down to 7.
So I think it's still up.
It's still up. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very much still up. A pistol's not going to take down a drone in a single shot.
No.
But I believe, and this is where Hedge has to get the rules because they talk about critical hits. I think if you get 2 6s on damage, it's classed as critical.
Ooh.
And critical hits are range combat, alternate explosion, that's melee, grab, choke, counter throw. The fact that there are entire systems for how hand-to-hand combat works. Being on fire. There are rules for being on fire. Taking.
So it's an extra 5 damage.
Oh, there you go.
From if you roll 2 or more 6s.
Here we go. Critical injuries. Yes. Whenever 2 or more dice rolled for damage or melee attack come up with 6s, you have a critical injury. Roll 2d6 on the appropriate injury table until you get a critical injury that the target isn't currently suffering. So roll 2d6 for me. I'm going to make a note of this page. It's 187.
A 5 and a 2.
So that's 7.
7.
So it's a foreign object injury. So at the end of every turn where you move more than 4 meters on foot, you resuffer this critical injury's bonus damage to your hit points. Okay, so... Oh, okay. All critical injuries do an additional 5 bonus damage, so it's now down to 2. And, fun fact, if this drone moves more than 4 meters, it will take another 5.
Beautiful.
Bits of damage. And to be honest, that's what I'm going to say has happened. The drones that go next, it tries to move to get closer and moves past the 4 meter mark, takes 5 damage and goes to 0. So you sort of see Cat shoot this thing, and it's like, that wasn't too bad, but it wasn't a cloud shot, and then it just moves and goes boom. It's like, oh no, okay.
I don't know, there it was.
That was good. Professional.
That was very professional.
I'm gonna go to high five you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can have 1 high five.
Very, very like gingerly. It's like, okay.
And I
sure.
but I fist. You go to, and I'm like not sure, so it goes.
Great.
Oh, the best team in the world.
Run. Now we have to get in.
We gotta go, yeah.
You see that the SUV engine starts. And this SUV is going to floor it.
Towards us?
Away from you. It is going to drive away from the... It's leaving the warehouse and wamooshing off.
Because we're so professional, they're so afraid of us.
Do you think that could have the thing in it? Might have the thing that we need? Why would they drive away?
I think maybe just didn't want to pick the fight.
Yeah, I suppose there wouldn't be that many of them, and now there's 4 at least. Are we gonna have a problem with them? Pointing at the...
Cat thinks about it for a minute and then just slowly lifts her pistols towards the car that was ticking, and it's like, could, and then was like, okay, no, we should. It'll be fine, probably.
I don't think it's gonna be fine.
You wanted to pull our resources.
That side of the car, for a bit, has gone a little bit quiet. You can't see over the edge. What you can see, however, from the side, is that there's an assault rifle laying on the ground. So someone's clearly using 2 hands or something else at the moment.
Yeah.
Free assault rifle.
I would maybe wait to see what they're doing before we take their assault rifle.
So the way you're parked at the moment...
Free assault rifle.
Free assault rifle. They're expensive. I've had this one in my family for years.
That's why it's got a bolt reload.
Yeah. We call it automatic, but there's nothing automatic about it.
The automatic is a little a motor that I fixed to the back that I turn on, and it
automatically bolts, reloads. Yeah, from where the way your driver's parked the car, you're almost at a 45-degree angle. So if you want to see what's going on behind this car, you've got to actively walk around to see it. You couldn't see from the car.
We could just go in.
You could just go in.
We might as well.
Do you want us to drive in? It's a big metal bulletproof thing.
Yeah, we might as well, because I don't know if there's going to be any other drone perimeters. And it would be handy to have something to hide behind, I fear.
I'm with you. I don't like bullets in... I'm allergic to them.
I don't think that's how that works, but yes, I let's use the car.
I can't tell them what to do. You have to. I'll get back in, but it's not my car.
Yeah, I will also get back in and sort of indicate that we're going to head in, but like we will slowly move around that other car just to see if we can catch a glimpse of what's going on there.
So the way that they've been positioned, like if you're driving down the right lane, they're on the left lane. You're going to turn into the warehouse. So in order for you to see the other side, you'd have to mount the pavement and then go around. I'll say for free that you can kind of work out as you go around anyway. While you can't get a clear view, one of them, the one with blonde hair, is being very hands-on with the other person who is just sitting there and doesn't appear to be doing anything.
Well, either that's a dynamic I don't want to be involved in, or one of them is no longer a problem. So I think we just move on and head on into that warehouse.
Could I briefly visually assess their health as we go? I don't mean any kind of specific, but could I tell if they were damaged in a threat assessment kind of way? Maybe using my first aid or paramedic skill or something like that.
Yeah, give me first aid.
Yeah, you did. Plus 14. 17.
They're
Wasn't
dead.
A good roll, but
they're dead.
They're dead.
They're dead.
I'm going to say it like I'm happy, but I'm not really. I was just like, Cloud's going through the process. He's just like, they're dead. Oh, sorry, no, they're dead. They're dead.
Well, they were our competition, so sure, yeah, they're dead.
On a 17, this person died before you arrived. You arrived pretty much like moments after that person went down. In fun fact, they failed their death save in the first round.
Yeah.
So we weren't even here.
That is, that's how easily you can die in this game.
We didn't even involve ourselves yet.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say, I don't think we're going to have a problem with another team now.
I think we're probably fine.
Let's go do this.
Hopefully that other person understands that they should leave.
Yeah, I can't. Well, they're not driving anywhere, are they? But
well, hope it is incurable and brutal. Nothing I can do about that.
I will say that Cloud's natural... I'm not going to make you roll for it, because this is... I mean, you have a plus 16 to land vehicle tech. Your passive knowledge alone can pass difficult checks, assuming you never roll a 1.
Yeah.
So...
Which I do.
That bang was the car's choo-choo tank being punctured.
Nice.
So most cars now run on something called choo-choo, which is basically alcohol, but more alcoholic. Most cars now run on essentially super alcohol. And while it's not oh crap, this car's going to explode on its own, if it had taken another hit there, or had got hit by another ignition source, then it would have gone up like a Christmas tree. At the moment, there is a pool of hyper-refined ethanol just pooling underneath this car.
Which I'm sure will absolutely not be a problem for us later.
It'll be fine.
Cat walks outside first thing, pistol at the puddle.
Deal with that. Goodbye.
The warehouse.
Yes.
As you pass through the gates, nothing immediately triggers.
Okay.
There are CCTV cameras. They are not... They're not very well hidden. They are very overt cameras. They want you to know there are cameras here and they are watching.
Okay.
But nothing gets triggered. It's not like, oh, we can see them, quick, release the drones.
Yeah.
Release the drones.
It's the new futuristic release the hounds. The big, large loading doors are sealed shut. That you can't open them from the outside. It's just not possible. And they look like they're electronically powered. But the small side door, which is just used as a standard entrance, is unusually left open, slightly ajar.
Hate to see it. You hate to see it. Yeah, I mean, if they're going to leave the door open as invitation, we might as well take them up on that.
Cool.
I don't think the car will fit through there, though. We may have to go it on foot.
This is not foot jobbing.
I'll go first, yeah?
Sure.
I got the longer gun.
Yeah, that is true.
Just in case there's
Dumpster Hood comes back up, just like, I don't want to be here.
No one wants to be seen. I'm excited to be here. Just glad to be here.
Yeah, Kat will kind of make the point to like put her hood up before she slides out of the car, and keep her head sort of like tilted down in hopes of like keeping her face off the security cameras.
I'll wave at them.
I mean, carrying over Cloud's amazing like tech check on this kind of security system, these cameras and these model of cameras aren't designed for large net use. They're local net.
Yeah.
There's going to be a terminal somewhere in that building that controls those cameras and locally records to it. So unless there's somebody...
In case anyone's there.
Yeah.
In case anyone's there and wants to be like, oh, I'm going to report back to people. No, you're not. Go away. Stay away from me.
How is Cloud going through this open door? Is it very loud, like slamming the rest of it open and going in as if he's playing an assault game? Or is he going to try and
he's not that kind of... He's socially awkward. He's not an idiot.
No.
he's socially awkward. But he did live in the Waste, so he's lived with nomads. So he knows not to just walk through a door. So he's going to try and like not stealth through it, but just I think that's what it's going to be classed as, but just try and get through it without without being seen or detected. It's okay waving at a security camera, but it's if there's someone with a gun on the other side of the door, he doesn't want to get shot in the face. Basically, that's his idea.
No,
so I'm going to go down at about waist height and like peer in as I go through.
Okay, that's fair enough. Also, very quickly, click on your caption tabs just to wake them back up again. I think they've gone to sleep.
Mine was working a second ago.
Yeah, mine stopped for a second, and then...
Mine said this link is invalid now.
Ooh.
How weird. Give us a moment, people.
It just says the invite link is invalid.
Okay, I am going to kick both of you from it and give you new links. Give me a second.
Okay.
Might have a timer on. Might have a time limit.
We have had longer sessions where it's not done it. Oh, fun fact, I can't kick Chris. Chris is just stuck perpetually in the system.
You stay there forever now.
The ghost in the machine.
That's
right.
Cloud's fault.
Give me a second. I'm going to stop the captions.
Confident one.
And they're going to refresh the captions. I'm going to
just
start
going to go back
again.
to reading about a megaverse while we're doing this. It's like a trailer.
If you both open the Discord for a second, I'll pop 2 more links in there.
Yes.
If the stream goes a bit funny now, audience, it's because I've opened Discord and my computer is going, why are you opening Discord?
Stop it.
It's sapping resources.
I love it when it says Hedgehog is typing. It's like, is it?
So,
is that
I mean, it might not be me. Right, there's 2 new links.
There you
while you configure them, you don't need the stealth doors go through these doors. There is nothing on the other side of these doors.
Yeah.
In fact, there's not a lot of anything.
Ooh. Mine says connected, by the way. Oh, there it is. It wasn't coming up with words.
Yeah.
It does take. I think it does take you have to talk a little bit to make it want to do the thing.
How dare
Mine is also saying connected. Yeah,
there you go. Now I can close Discord and hey, there we go. Yeah, no, there's no one on the side of this door. You go through, and it's a very empty warehouse. It's not going to take a trained investigator to work out, but this place has been flushed very quickly, very recently. So much so that they've left a lot of boxes behind.
Okay.
It's pretty obvious who has used it, because they're the only corporation that likes to plaster their logo over every box. Militech aren't one for being stealthy. So these are all Militech branded boxes. The majority of them are empty. They look like they've been deliberately unloaded and packed onto something else. You do make out that a lot of these boxes contain drone models similar to the ones that you just killed. But they've been loaded up. With Cloud's innate land vehicle knowledge, you start to realize that on the ground you can see tire tracks, and using that living with nomads tracking, these match the profile of SUVs. And in your head, you start to construct an image of this could have been potentially used as a kind of refilling up station for drones in SUVs. Like kitting them out.
Right. Drones and SUVs sounds like a cyberpunk indie band, by the way.
It does.
Drones and SUVs. That's going to be our new cover album.
Would Kat know that as well? Because of the corpo side of things. Have you got anything to do with Militech, Kat?
Not directly. Insofar as like maybe the sort of corporate secret side, but probably not to the extent that you do, because I don't know tech as well.
Kat probably knows that Militech like to maintain a very, very large security force. Possibly, well, you could argue to the ends of the world's biggest security force. I think Arasaka would have something to say about that, but
well, of course,
let's not open up old wounds. Because that's how we had a corporate war.
Sure is.
But yeah, put it this way. Kat would know that Militech, as of late, have not been covert about waving their military dicks around.
Yes.
With Arasaka kicked out, they've kind of started walking around the place almost like they own it. Because, hey, they've been nationalized by the new United States. So they have a government behind them now. So
they've got the weaponry to back it up, unfortunately.
Yeah, so they don't even bother being secret about it anymore. Which probably explains why they had no issues with just, like, picking up and leaving. In such a state.
So I'd relay the information to Kat to tell in a non-condescending way, more of an enthusiastic way, and look for any boxes that they'd left behind that may contain a free drone. if they could, you never know. I found other things. Cloud's found stuff. He found a roommate. He found a place to sleep. Could find a drone.
You could. You never know.
Tell you what. Give me perception. Give me perception. Give me.
What the viewers can't see is that when you access mine.
Yes, I can move your sheet, so you can see
you move
me
my sheet around.
Through.
It's one, so I can see Hedgehog moving through it, and I know he's going to choose something, and then I'm like, that's not my best stat. But let's see what we roll here.
I either use your sheet or I use the book, and the book is far harder to read.
I just thought I laughed because I realised that viewers at home can't see you going through it, and my heart dropping as I see the tabs you're going through to decide which it's like awareness and social are basically my dumb stats.
Now that I realise that, I was like randomly every now and again just press a stat.
Just
watch
panic
it.
Be like, interesting.
Fighting.
I forgot you have a good business stat as well.
I do.
Yeah.
17 is what I got.
17. I am going
17.
to
oppose... It's not that bad, to be fair.
I'm going to roll how well Militech actually cleaned the place out. They did not clean the place out particularly well.
The cleaning.
Ooh.
Is this the cleaning check? What skills that under is?
That's under the bullshit one. There's a hidden category called bullshit that head out of his ass. So, fuck it. Why not? I'm a benevolent person. You find one of these drones in a box that has not been opened. I will tell you this, Militech drones, if we're playing by the book rules, has a worth of 10,000 eddies.
It's going in the back.
This thing will have to be loaded into Kat's car. This is not something you can carry around portably.
I'll take it, yeah.
You can't just like go to a gun shop and say, here's a Militech drone, can I please have 10,000 eddies for it?
No.
You are going to have to offload this at a night market, possibly to a fixer. So you probably won't get the full 10,000 asking price for it. But you could get some money out of this.
I'm going to tell Kat, look what I found. These things are worth loads.
Yeah, we're going to put that in the car and we're going to find somewhere to sell that.
We will share that 50-50. I'm a fair guy.
I respect it. Kat in her head is like, I would not be sharing it 50-50, but I'm not going to complain.
I know a guy who could buy this.
Okay.
I buy all my stuff at the night market, so that's my things, where I get all my supplies. Or I have gangers who look after my. I've got a gang that looks after my things. So that'll be an interesting news report when people find out that some random gangers and drug boosters have suddenly got access to a Militech drone. And are going around using it.
Nothing to do with us.
But yeah, aside from that, this place, at least on the ground floor, has been pretty well cleared.
Great.
Cool.
All right. Do we want to head up and see if we can look through the offices?
I'm just writing a Sharpie on the side of the box. Property of Cloud.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, you put your name on it. That's fine.
It's not fine. Why? There's no one else in here.
It's fine. We'll take the box, we'll put it in the car, and then we'll get rid of the box.
Fragile. Do not bend.
Okay, I'm going to go upstairs and look in the offices.
Yeah. I'll follow after you.
The offices look... they look like they've been rifled through. But it looks like in the what I can only say in executive terms is dump and run. If you were doing a dump and run, you would probably burn the paperwork first, the digital,
Yes.
like the paper trail, so to speak, and then
The
move
records
goods.
of what you've done.
Yeah, Militech haven't done that. They've gone in reverse. They've packed the goods first, which means most of the paper trail has been left behind.
Lovely.
And I wasn't kidding when I said paper trail.
Particularly, yeah, I was going to say, can I spot anything that's like particularly incriminating?
Can we find the evidence that going to cause us to go to war with a major corporation in episode 1? Give me. I'll tell you what. I'll let you pick.
Okay.
From the education category.
Yeah.
I would say you could do bureaucracy, you could do library search, you could do deduction.
Lovely.
For what kind of angle you want to try and pull from this?
So I'm not allowed to do like an animal handling skill check.
I mean, you can if you want,
because that's an education skill. You see,
you can look if you want
reason.
If you want to do wilderness survival or animal handling on this stacks of paperwork, I cannot stop you as a player.
It would have been incredibly funny to get a crit on that.
All I can say is moo. That's all you learn, moo.
23.
Okay,
for deduction.
Fucking hell. Okay. That is a near incredible deduction. That's heroic deduction.
Beautiful.
So Cloud was onto something here.
Mm-hmm.
This is being used primarily as a staging area for Militech operations, not just in Night City, but out in North California in general, or NoCal, as they call it now. Most of the equipment that comes through here is destined for outside Night City. And they are moving a lot of equipment very quickly. Putting your exec hat on, there has got to be at least 4 to 5 shipments a day coming both in and out. There is no regard for security at all. The person that ran this place was running on the working theory that if we put a Militech logo at the front, people will back the fuck off. Only idiots with a death wish would go up against Militech while they're in the middle of operating stuff. There's specific references to certain missions that they're running. There's lots of code words. Again, you'd be used to this in the corporate world. A lot of clandestine operations are done under code words to hide their meaning. There's no operation files here, so you can't tell what the operations were, only their names. But you know what equipment's being sent to them. So it's not difficult for you to work out that most of these are some form of security assignment, which kind of falls into what Militech do anyway. There's a couple that would suggest arms sales. And inside some of this, like, correspondence on one of the terminals, you're, like, working your way through alongside the paperwork. Because I imagine you've got, like, a terminal laptop and all the paperwork, and you're doing the two things at once, reading one while typing on the other and looking at the screen. The person that ran this place is excited because a piece of tech was due to come in. That they were very excited about and had to resist the urge to play with before being sent off. You check the shipment day for that. It's due to arrive in the warehouse in 5 days' time.
Ooh, okay.
However, don't get your hopes too high up. Yesterday, there was an order to basically scupper the warehouse. They've got better digs elsewhere in the city, which they've conveniently left the details of the location to. Because, hey, they're shipping all this stuff to somewhere else. They're shipping it to, and I'm going to butcher the name here, Rancho Corrado, which is the other side of the city now. But there are you know from experience, a lot of corporations have large warehouses there. That is where the big boys go to stash their equipment. And most shipments now being diverted there. As you are filtering through this paperwork and these terminals, buried under a stack of to-be-burnt papers is a shard. Of which the shard number matches the one that you were given.
Beautiful.
This is the item that Aether wanted you to retrieve.
Alrighty. I will kind of shuffle all the paperwork aside. I imagine I was like taking my own little notes in my agent, being like, I will refer back to this later for when I need it. And then sort of pick up the data shard and like wave it at Cloud, like, guess they didn't clean up shop too well.
No, it blows my mind people still use paper. Weird, right?
Much easier to get rid of.
I didn't read anywhere, actually. Do we have ports? Does everyone have ports?
So the game never explicitly says that you do or don't. So I'm going to go with the working assumption that everyone does have interface ports, especially people like Cloud and Kat for differing reasons. Cloud's got an internal agent. It makes sense that you'd have something.
He doesn't.
Oh, don't you?
No. He has a cyber eye, and he has one of his arms as a tool, but he doesn't have.
Kat has the internal agent, yes.
Yeah. My fixer did.
I'm gonna go with the working assumption that everyone does, because everyone who's ever played Cyberpunk sees that, and they're like, I'm not going to start rewriting and saying, oh no, you don't. You have to go find a little terminal to jack it into. So you can jack this inside you.
I will. No thought.
Thought. Just okay.
I've played the game, but
you like looked at it and Cat's like, I would. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's not going to make me less empathetic.
Well,
I mean, Aether hinted maybe don't look at it, but never explicitly said don't look at it.
Didn't say don't. Didn't say there's a yes or no rule here.
No implication. Okay,
I don't pick up on that.
There is a level of encryption on this shard.
Okay. This might
security tech / electronics, I would say, would probably strip it away.
Okay.
It's difficult. I mean, okay, I say it's difficult. By DVs, it's difficult. It's 15. So you probably can beat this just by not rolling a 1, I would imagine.
Do you want to have a look and see?
I haven't actually opened your sheet. I will press the button.
I will.
Yeah, as long as you don't roll a 1, you technically can beat the encryption on this.
Cloud's about to lobotomize himself. Let's do this.
You got it. You got it. No ones.
Goodbye, tastes and smells. 6. So it's only a 22.
Still.
It's a good one.
It's 21 is heroic, so you've got into the heroic range.
Hey.
You wipe away the encryption on this fairly easily. This wasn't supposed to fall into enemy hands, so it wasn't encrypted like heavily. There are plans to. So this is only for this warehouse. Now, what obviously Kat has worked out is that those plans have moved to another warehouse. But it mentions that whatever this thing is that they're being shipped, it has to be shipped in parts. It is big enough, it needs to come in pieces to be assembled. It's one of those where...
This to Kat as I'm reading it.
Box 1 of 4. And each of these boxes is pretty big. As you try to access what's in the boxes, there's a second layer of encryption on these boxes. This wall of encryption looks more dangerous to break. There looks like there may be a fail-safe around this one if you can't break it.
Okay.
Do you want to have a crack at breaking it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it does.
Go for...
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty confident. He's definitely going to roll a 1. But is it the same?
Same skills. Yes, that's security tech.
It is one of my best skills. It is my best skill.
You can do it. That's fine. I believe in you.
I'm going to look at you. I'm going to look at Kat. Cloud's going to look at Kat and go, can you feed Terry if anything bad happens?
I don't know where you live.
Cool. And then he does it. He gets a 20.
Well, it is harder than... I'm gonna do the nice GM thing and say, if you spent 5 of your luck points, you could just push yourself over the DV required.
So he spends all but 1 of his luck.
Because hey, they refresh next session, so you might as well spend them. Look,
on this one roll.
Look, I'm one of those people that I love to see my players win, even if it hurts me. I'm a masochist.
This is one of Terry's 9 lives.
And
this is it. Yeah.
So, you just about break through this encryption and start to delve into what's inside these boxes. So the question I'm going to ask
is... Do I get a sense from the outside that you've broken through?
you just see Cloud eyes, like cyber eye flickering really quickly. As like you're trying to get through.
You can't, because I've got mirror shades on.
Oh, you have? Yes, mirror shades. You can't even see through the...
Well, I see you not immediately crumple.
You can see a light through it. That's my
like, thank God I don't have to feed that cat.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, have both of you got through enough of 2077 to complete the Aldecados branch, where you have to go pull off another heist against Militech? And you have to go steal...
I haven't played it, but I have seen it.
I can only describe it as that is what is being delivered here. A Panzer in 4 pieces.
Big old tank.
It's a big old floating tank. That is the item that Aether has been contracted to rob. A floating tank.
Wanted a tank.
And the security on this detail was intense. So, for context, these Panzers in 2045 are still relatively new. They're not ancient like they were in 2077. These are relatively new. They were used only like 20 years ago in frontline service. So these are still pretty modern in Cyberpunk standards. So they're a lot more guarded. So there were plans for shutting down the street when this thing arrived, setting up a security cordon for the days it was in so that no one could go within like a block of this place, who, even if they lived there, like, you're being evicted while this thing is here. Obviously, they've now been moved to another warehouse, so this isn't going to be the one it's going to arrive at. But you can very easily deduce between the two of you corroborating that wherever this warehouse it's going to over in Rancho is going to be very well guarded when it arrives in 5 days' time. The plan isn't to immediately move it once it arrives. Assuming the plan hasn't changed based on what Cloud's got on the shard, the plan is it's going to be held there for about a month.
Okay.
It's being sold. It's just going through final, like, financial checks to see if the money's cleared before it gets sold. The shard doesn't reveal who's bought it or where it's going after this. So you can kind of work out why Aether and Aether's client is very... There's a window that we have to act here.
Okay.
Because in 30 days, this thing is going to effectively be gone. And it could be a while until another one of these things comes back into Night City. It's uncommon for, even though Militech love to wave their dicks around, it's very rare for them to move prized military tech through Night City and out into the world. It's much more like they do it in Washington or Boston or, you know, New York, places where, you know, they have a lot more influence. To route it through Night City suggests that it's more clandestine in nature, or the purchaser doesn't want to be traced. You wouldn't send it through Night City if you bought it through official channels.
That's seems like something a lot bigger than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, yes, both, you know,
morally
and physically.
Yeah.
I
thought it was going to be another gun.
Would have certainly been easier to steal.
So you're thinking what I'm thinking. We need a tank. You're right. We got a drone. We need a tank.
Well,
next.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Exactly. I'm glad that you're as impulsive as I am. Let's do this.
a sinking moment in the back of Cat's head where it's like, I need to make sure they don't find out what corporation I work for.
Yes.
Pharmaceutical company versus military industrial complex.
Not great.
Yeah,
one of them
is going to easily win if this turns into open corporate warfare.
It's pharmaceuticals.
That'll be fine.
Every time.
Just throw drugs at them, it's fine.
Big pharma.
If they haven't got immunosuppressants, they have not got cybernetics. Let's not pretend that the real backbone of the military isn't pharmaceuticals.
That's the one. They also do biotech, to be fair.
They do biotech as well.
Who's driving those tanks? No one. No one is.
No one
knows. Yeah.
You find that there's no one else in this warehouse. Thankfully, there was no one hiding in the back offices or like the back storerooms while you were rifling through. I imagine you load the drone into Cat's car.
I leave you to do that. Cat's like taking notes and making sure she has everything that they found out to be like, I need a complete dosage just in case anything goes wrong.
I'll say you take both like using your agent, like digital copies of everything you've got. I will out of game. I'll compile it a little bit more, so if you want to reference it back, you can back reference it.
Cloud faxes it to you from his head.
See, Cat summed it up perfectly. In a cybernetic world, paper is a very easy trail. In theory, if you remember to do it, burn. Even digital files can leave like traces to be reconstructed. You can't
once it's on the internet, it's there forever.
You can't, once you burn a piece of paper, you can't put the ashes back together to see what was on it. So paper is still more prevalent than most people think it is. It's just done for things that you wouldn't like. You wouldn't put your shopping list on paper anymore. It would be digital. No. Your orders to kill someone, you put that on paper.
I don't use paper for shopping lists now.
Why would you? You have a little device.
I speak to the air.
You speak to the air.
A little box in my house adds it to a list on my phone.
But I'm not going to say that name out loud, otherwise it'll trigger.
No, we'll set everything off, as the advert does every time it comes on my television. Thank you, advert on the television, for ordering things from... No, never done that.
So yeah, the drone's loaded up. The driver is still assuming the fetal position because they were never told not to after driving you.
Well, you know what? You never know who's going to come along.
Exactly. Unknown driver number 1.
We need to find out. You need to find out this driver's name, Kat. They did a special job today. They were good at this. And if we need someone to do it
her
again,
actual agent rather than her internal one, and starts flipping through files, it's like, it's somewhere. I'll have it later.
I'm going to bang on the window between us. What's your name?
You see they look up ever so slightly as if, like, have they got permission to, not...
I don't think that without Kat's permission they can tell me.
Kat, finds an email, the depths of her agent, and it's like, oh, that's you, huh? This is Luna. Hi, Luna. It's nice to see you. Good job. Thank you for not getting us killed. I'd like us to leave now.
Okay.
I think. Are we done?
Good job. And I pat Luna on the back.
So there's one last thing. So
naming the drone.
We shall call him Droney, and he shall be mine. I want to do a really bad reference to an old game. I just call the drone Guy and give it a personality. But I'm not going to go that far because last time I gave AI a personality, bad things happened. The car from before, the junker car, is still there. It can't move now. its fuel is basically drained out of the tank. And there is now a very pissed off looking man who is both looking down at their now dead friend and over at your car. I'm not going to make you roll. I'm not going to make people roll perception. As a people person, Kat, you can tell in his head he's making a calculation. Does he go for the shot, thinking that he could possibly take you both, or
all three of us?
Well, all three of us. I can turn the drone on and just. I think the drone would be a little insulting too soon. If you,
maybe a little salt in the wound.
Luna Drive good in the front there.
Like there's visceral. Like he's not clearly. This person's not thinking straight. There is a upset, grievous anger there. If you do want to give me a human perception check, I might tell you a little bit more.
I will
just to anyone that's using captions, mine has said this link is invalid again. So I just wanted to. I didn't
How weird is that?
That is weird.
You are special.
Okay, so I have my first crit.
Oh,
yes!
On my human perception. And then another 8. So that is, I believe, a 30.
Okay, so
it's their mind.
So
I'm telepathic.
What I will say.
Oh, can mine meld? My mind to your mind.
Literally that.
So the highest DC you can get according to the book is 29 at legendary. There are very few checks. They even warn you against using legendary too much because it may be too hard. He is angry and furious that after the firefight, you went into the warehouse and you didn't go over.
Yeah.
There is a, you two are cold-hearted bastards. And attacking you now isn't about the money or the chip or the job. It's just fuck you.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, realistically, Cat's like, fair.
They're not. His father didn't love him.
Yeah. So the other thing that you percept is that this person is not combat orientated, and when that clicks, you look at them a bit more. That assault rifle is not his assault rifle; it's his friend's assault rifle. This guy, this guy looks more like a net running type.
Yeah.
Which would explain why he couldn't hit the drones with the assault rifle. It's not his area of expertise. But there is still some deep-seated hatred there. He is seriously considering... You get the impression that if you didn't... On a fucking 30... If you don't do something now to harm him or deal with him, if you even go to get in that car to leave, he will just open fire.
Which, yeah, fair. Cat will probably
shoot him in the face.
No, Cat is like she'll like sheath her pistol again and like conceal it and tuck that little
Yeah, because I mean, you can
and,
conceal
like,
your gun. You can't
Yeah.
conceal Cloud Assault Rifle.
No, and kind of like hands up, not in surrender, but in like, hey, I have nothing. Away, and sort of start heading over and be like, I'm sorry that we didn't come to you. Your friend was dead. And the way that car is going, anything happens here and you will be too. We don't have time to start anything. I promise you it's not worth your life
So, I need to ask an honesty question.
Ooh.
How close to the car does Cat walk to?
She'll kind of like come around their car. So like she is out of cover, but she's not approaching properly.
As you walk around and you can see the other side of the car, the first thing you see is the ground at this point is soaked in fuel. He's holding a lighter. He was hoping you'd get close enough that he could drop the lighter. And while he can't bring his friend back, he could take one of you out in the explosion.
Yeah. She will kind of clock it and not approach any further, but just like shake her head and be like, it's not worth yours too.
It's just cold.
Yeah.
Would have taken 30 seconds.
It wouldn't have brought him back. And I'm sorry, and I know that's hard to hear. It wouldn't have changed anything.
I know. Doesn't stop it from hurting.
It never does.
Well, get back.
Gonna back up very slowly.
They walk out of the fuel puddle and walk a safe distance back themselves before lighting the lighter and just tossing it into the fuel, which does exactly what we all thought it would do. Engulfs the car, blows it up, their friend with it. Funerals are expensive. It's far cheaper this way. It's a bit grim, a bit dark, but it's either that or throw them in the river. And I'm pretty sure there's laws against that.
Well, you know, some cultures saw it as an honor, so maybe we can call it that.
And now, what am I supposed to do?
Now you go on and you keep living and you live with the heart, and one day it'll be a little less, but it'll always be there, and I'm sorry for that. But that's as good as any of us can do.
4 months ago, there was a crew of 4 of us, and I've lost all of them. Now it's me. Can't really do this merc business if it's just me.
There's always people looking. You can find other people.
I guess. Fine. Go on. Just go. You might as well go collect your gold at the end of the rainbow. Eat another day.
She like kind of thinks about it and then is like, tossing him money is probably going to make this all way worse. So maybe I will just keep my mouth shut and back away.
He's a busker. Thank you for the show.
Yeah. Thank you for
goodbye.
Thank you for
Should
setting
you
your
be
friend
offering
on
him a
fire.
lift, maybe? Just his car did
Yeah,
just go.
I mean,
There's this moment of, do I really want him in my car?
yeah, Kat kind of like looks at her car and looks at like the bullet dent in it, and then it's just like, do you need a ride back to the city? I wouldn't leave you here alone. And it doesn't look like
No. I don't want to impose. It's fine.
it's not imposing. It's an offer.
Look, I mean, if you were really going to offer, and this is a little cheeky, but rather than just giving me a ride, why not just pay for a lift for me?
Oh, I can do that if you would rather. I just didn't know if you wanted to hang around here.
I don't want to hang around here. I'll go. I'll go. You know. I mean, look. I just lost my only one friend here. I do not want to be here right now. But I
didn't think you would.
I also politely don't want to be near you right now.
That's fair. She will like just reach in and pull out like a little handful out and be like, there you go.
Yeah, small credit chick with just enough to get a taxi.
It's probably not even just enough. She probably is like, I don't know how much a taxi's gonna cost, and it like just sort of overshoots a bit, and it's like, there you go, and it is definitely too much.
They don't even look at how much this is worth. They just take it. Name's T-Bone. I don't even know why I'm pitching myself right now, but if you ever needed help or like net running experience, I could always subcontract myself.
Well, you know what? One day if you can stand to look at us again, maybe we'll let you know.
Well, I can't stand to look at you. Money is money. And while I don't know what job comes after this, if what that crazy woman at the bar said was true, there's a lot more money where that's coming from.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and it seems like it.
So while I can't stand looking at your faces, I wouldn't mind looking at your faces and getting paid for it.
Well, you may not be able to stand looking at our faces, but if this goes the way we think it's going, you might get to blow up some people that caused this in the first place.
I'll admit that does sound fun.
I thought it might.
I'll make a note. And you see that they use their agent to like push a contact request.
Kat will like accept it through like her own little like handle of like here's her merch handle and here is her company handle, and they are different and do not intersect.
the two different types. Personal, corporate.
Yes.
Yeah, no. At that point, he will turn and like walk off, leaving Kat standing there and Cloud like further back near the car.
Kat does like a big exhale, like a whew. Okay, car, let's leave. I'm done with here. Unless you want to go and raid for more drones, but I think we maybe got him.
No, I think we were lucky finding one. Where's my assault rifle? You went back to the car. I was watching. You talked to that guy.
That guy very much had a lighter over all that fuel. I wasn't risking it for his dead friend's assault rifle. I'm sorry.
They're expensive. Okay,
I
it's
know,
like half a month's rent.
Also, so is my life. So yeah.
Yeah, no, valid.
Kind of like go slide back in the car and be like,
really
okay,
disappointed at leaving waste behind. Could have used the
like
car.
with an arm over her eyes, like I don't want this.
Could have put it back together. Right.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I will like gesture to him and be like, we're out of here. We're done. Let's leave.
Awesome. So now named driver number 1, Luna.
Yeah.
Luna Drive good.
Luna.
Her full name.
Takes you back to the bar, where Aether is waiting for you. I'm guessing I'm guessing that Cat is doing the talking here. Or
all this guy is definitely
all this charisma here is everything's coming up cloud.
The drone might as well do it. If instead of me.
Same stats. Let's go.
Yeah, it might even be higher. Just it's more human than I
am. No. So, Aether takes the shard from you.
Yeah, Cat produces it with like a little flourish and like slides it to be very annoying.
And is going to make a check.
With a finger gun as you do it, go professional.
Did you look at this?
Oh, I don't do that. That's not. And here's important. I don't like to risk it with data shards. I don't know where they came from.
So you don't know what's on this shard?
Well, I don't.
Why do I get the impression you're being very specific in your answers?
Oh, you know how it is in the corporate world. You're not specific and someone will take advantage of a loophole you leave.
Fine. It's not worth the argument. I can tell that some encryption's been broken.
Oh no, I wonder who could have done that.
I should know. I was the one that put the passcode on it.
Of course you are.
There's a reason I was asked to take this job. Because I have inside knowledge. Now that you know that, it kind of makes sense with the modifications that she's got. Like,
yeah,
she may have been lying when she said, I made that shotgun myself. No, you don't make a shotgun arm yourself. That's got Militech written all over it. You know, this is... The only problem that you have, Kat, is working out... Is she currently still working for Militech? I.e., is this a inside job? Or has she been pushed out?
Yeah.
There's nothing obvious, and it's clear that Aether is a burn name.
Yeah.
Like, it... You might be able to, in downtimes, maybe try and ascertain her true identity.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you're not quite sure.
Okay, we'll kind of just like let that one slide and make like a little mental note. Be like, I'll check that later.
Well, I promised money. You see, she pulls out 2 credit chips, each with 1,000 eddies on it. Slides both of them across the table. I will be in touch when I know more about stage 2.
Well,
in the meantime, try not to die and try not to starve. It could be a couple of weeks.
All right. I'm sure I can certainly manage that.
As a final aside, because you have rolled extremely well tonight, and as a final well done, the reason her hair is both naturally flowing but also spiky green is it is synth hair. It can be resculpted at will to look like something else. It is a very advanced disguise technique used at the very highest echelons of corporate espionage. There are even some cybernetics you can get that can remodel your face. This may be a little more complicated than you may have bargained for.
Yeah.
With that, however, we are done for tonight.
Hey. I think, like, just as a final little aside, as Kat's like getting up to leave, she'll just kind of lean down and be like, "Terror Corporation burn the paper before you take the goods."
Not my fault if I told them to drop everything and run.
Beautiful. You just gotta get one last little jab in there.
I can see where the tension's coming this campaign. Will they? Won't they? There we go.
Ooh,
You didn't die
fun.
session 1.
Yay!
Didn't die. That's my favourite type of dying.
There was a legit moment where I wrote the original combat. I was like, could these drones kill them? And I was like, no.
We're professionals.
Yeah, they'd have to take a lot of damage before they could risk killing them. The reason why behind screen, the reason why the truck drove off was because I pulled up the stats for the solo in the thing and was like, that could kill them.
Yeah.
I was like,
but wouldn't have, because we're professionals.
We're so professional.
We'd have always hit our target and killed them, even if it took a turn for it to actually take effect.
We're the
true.
B team.
Yeah. We'll just have to make a really off-key, non-copyright version of the A team.
Do it on a kazoo.
I don't think I get to the end of the recording session before I gouge my ears out. Kazoos are just all. Right. So, next week we'll have our full cast. We were missing one today. And we'll also talk what happens in the week between, because you can still make money on the side to pay rent.
Sell it, drone.
Sell a drone.
Selling a Militech drone is what's going to happen in the week between.
Hell yeah.
after drawing a smiley face on it.
Don't personify the drone. People become attached to it, then you might want to sell it. We can't sell Droney. It's got a face now.
Droney the drone.
But no. We'll be back next Tuesday. For more fun. I will start off by saying that I have been and will continue to be Hedgehog. I can be found on the internet at Hedgehog UK. I am tired.
You did run here. You did run through the session.
I had an afternoon where I was planning to get ahead of myself, and then fate decided no. We're gonna put you about an hour and a half behind where you planned to be. So I didn't eat properly. I literally got home at 6:15. We start at 6:30. I scoffed a cheeseburger just before the camera came on.
Excellent.
Just like a snake.
Yeah, just all the way in. It's like,
Yeah,
I
all the
really
way.
could do with some food. So I'm going to have some cereal after this. Bex.
Yes, I have been Bex. You can find me on the internet, mostly on Blue Sky, at Phoenix Force, the same username as on Twitch here. I'm silly and chaotic and love to post gay little things at tabletop games, so it's always fun.
Fantastico. And finally, Chris.
Yeah, you can find me on the internet as, again, Papa Glitch, maybe, or Chris Purchase, or Chris PG, or at my house. But please, only if phone. No, don't phone. I don't like it.
Don't phone.
Text me, or DM me, and then I'll meet you at the car park opposite. It's just a bit of a journey, but it's quite hard to find. There's no parking here. Anyway, you can find me anywhere online. Just look for Papa Glitch. And then find the one that's me, because there's another guy. Or Glitchadle Miniatures on Instagram if you're into like Warhammer-y roleplay stuff. There you go.
Fantastic.
And I'm coming back next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we all are. That'd be weird if it
Gotta
was.
sell a drone.
Yeah, we only get to come back if we've done well this week.
I mean, with the way our vampire campaign on Thursdays are going, we haven't had the full cast yet, because every session one person can't make it, so we've had a rotary cast. So I'm hoping next Thursday we'll have a full cast.
Well, hopefully. I have to come back because Cloud's made a friend.
Yes, Cloud
before
has
this,
made a
we were
friend.
saying Cloud didn't have any friends, and then I've added on the sheet Terry the cat.
Great.
Roommate.
That's Terry the cat is going to appear in the finale now as just like the thing that like destroys everything. Big evil bad guy moment. Just Terry the cat walks in and just does a little cat piss next to the generator and just like blows the thing up.
Like in The Mummy, where they just hold the cat up to the evil creature. There's like.
Oh, there's more chaos energy. There's more chaos energy. I can never escape it, but I love it so much.
Wholesome chaotic.
Exactly, wholesome chaotic. Right, I will see you next. I personally will see you all on Thursday when we're back for more Vampire. But we will be back as a group again next Tuesday. So
+1.
+1, yes, and +1.
We'll get a guest next week.
Everyone bring a guest. Why not?
Everyone. All of the chat needs to bring a guest.
We'll have a show and tell. Like, this is my guest.
If you bring a person, I'll name an invention after you. That's the thing. If you want a special gun named after you in the Cyberpunk roleplay we're playing, Cloud will try and invent something and name it after you if you bring a friend.
See, I'm there going, yes, this is brilliant, more views for the stream. But then my DM side is going, how long does it take to make guns again?
How many guns is that?
I can't make that many exotics.
That's a good problem to have.
Yes, it's a good problem to have. It's a good mechanical problem. Speaking of, we are going to head off because I now need to remember the rules for giving out XP per session. Because just like every other session, it's not a case of going, you get X XP, you get X XP based on what you did during that session. Because of course it is. Because why can't this system be simple? Anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye,
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.